And that was something that surprised me too when I was doing my research, just the history of, segregation touched every facet of Black life in this country, and in Miami, no different. And when I learned about these communities like Liberty City and what's the other one? Opalaka, and where they have Pokenhorn. These were all very thriving Black communities that were established when the federal government was giving money to veterans, and Black veterans were taking advantage of those resources, those grants and very, very low interest loans. And so middle class Black America, Black Miamians, they built these communities. I mean, they moved into these communities and it had churches and schools, and they were thriving and doing extremely and exceptionally well. But as development starts happening in the city and you start seeing the highways come through, these are the communities that become the victims of the development of Miami. And it's intentional. They ran those highways through those communities and they just decimated them and then pushed them, but the population didn't change, just the amount of housing changed. And so it pushed them in these congested communities that now today are struggling with immense poverty. But if people just knew the beautiful history of those communities that are there in Miami, I think it would invoke an enormous sense of pride to not only want to save them, but to revive them. And so people like this young lady who's trying to do this project about the Liberty housing, I think it would behoove a lot of people to learn more about it, even at the high school level, to teach it. And some of that is in this book. While my book focused on the Miami Times and how it used itself as a strategic tool to desegregate the public golf course in Miami, I try to put little snippets in there about where it put its hands through every issue in that community. And that was one of them. They were really fighting for fair housing for Black people and for the preservation of those historic communities. But of course, development is going to overtake them. But that book hopefully has just enough resources in it that people could use to pick up and further their own research on there.